So for me, what I would do is I put that bitch in a steak. All right? Something you least expect. That is something you least expect.
I put that
okay?
bitch in a steak.
Yeah. Okay. I need her to rip that shit up, and then you just see the ring pop out.
Or
okay, that's what I
in the
need.
bottom of a baked potato.
Hell yeah, baby. So we're starting it.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. We have a new person with us, the very first guest in our podcast. He is an informant from the insider of the restaurant business. His code name for this stream is going to be Deep Dish.
Hello.
What the hello? And do not worry, we still have Dylan on our side. He just has something unique on for the time
and
being.
welcome to the SYWB podcast. Hold on, wait a second. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if they can hear you or if the mic's gonna peak in any way.
Hello. Wait. And welcome to
Not
the
that sound effect.
Shush. And welcome to the SYWB Bitches podcast, where we talk. Sorry, I just saw myself for the first time. Where we talk about the restaurant industry, the drama of the restaurant industry, but never the who or the where, because it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the podcast, where we edit the first 5 minutes. This is Deep Dish. He's a man. That much we know.
You don't have to tell him that.
We don't know
They
much
don't
else
know
about
that.
him. He's an enigma.
Yes. He's been working in the restaurant industry for what, over 20 years, I believe, almost 30?
Yes or no?
Okay, well, that's a
He's
good
good at
answer.
his- damn, he's good at his job.
He's good, yeah, he's good at
Holy
his job.
hell. I didn't expect all that.
I know. I'm shaking right now. I'm shooketh.
My boots are shaking.
My voice is shaking. I'm just cold.
I gotta fix my camera.
Oh, you gotta fix the camera? All right, we'll edit that in post while we still can. So, wow, oh gosh, can you not move at that at all? Yes, so we are here. We also have a semi-special podcast this week as well, as many of you guys know, or at least are gonna know when it does come up. It's gonna be past Valentine's Day, and we got some stories to tell you about that. A lot of it is rage-inducing, but it's Valentine's Day. It was all in the name of love, you know, quote unquote love. I'm getting PTSD just thinking about it. Oy.
I don't believe in love.
Says the man. I don't. Yeah, you know what? I don't believe in love.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
I almost broke that.
Good throw. I'm not gonna lie. Good throw.
I wish I got it on camera.
I do like that idea of I don't believe in love with all the technical gear. This is what I wear on a daily basis.
No, yeah, sorry. I just got cut. This is my regular job. Hold on. This is my regular job. Damn it, the camera's still not right. This is my normal. We're gonna reference the outfit now because I guess we're breaking that bit. My normal job, right? This is my everyday job.
We get better as we go. Don't worry. Yeah, he works at Sears. Gosh, that apocalypse nightmare of a place.
Got away from me.
Can I say this as
It's a podcast. You can say anything you want.
as a story about me in the past? So, those who don't know, I worked as a security officer, and one of the things that always made me laugh was we had two branches, the D class and the G class.
And the Air
G9.
Force and the Army and the.
I don't know what that is, but the G class essentially meant that they had guns. That's all. Yeah, but what made me laugh about it is the gear that they wore looked so legit, yet felt not helpful at all. Because they're like, all right, we're wearing guns, we have assaults on us, we have like thick layered armor. And I'm like, all right, so where are you guys gonna go? Like, are you guys gonna be patrolling, you know, the prisons, or are you gonna go to one of the jail systems that goes along with it? Oh, you found one. Good, thank you. And he's like, no, I'm gonna go protect the mall. And I was like, you got an AK for the mall? He's like, yeah. Don't show your ass.
It
like
looks
that.
good in these pants. I've never seen my butt look good
No,
before.
it doesn't.
It does not.
Shut up.
can
I'm gonna
show
ask my
you.
girlfriend. She'll say yes.
Yeah. I thought you said you didn't believe in love. What the?
I didn't say I love her. I'm kidding.
I was hoping you would say something worse.
I'm kidding.
It's going to be edited out
She
anyway. It
watches
doesn't matter.
this. She watches this.
It's going to be
I know.
edited out.
You should probably edit that moment out.
No, he's just
It
going
was-
to edit one word.
It was a joke.
He's going to edit one word.
But I sound so scared. Like I'm the one in the hostage situation.
This is
Anyway, so I guess since they've already referenced the costume, like I told them not to, this is a live
It was too good
podcast.
to
There's no
pass
such
up.
thing as editing.
honestly, it was too good to pass up.
It's just a bit. This is I'm doing on the. I've already talked about the Smithy channel. I'm doing a bit where everything I'm wearing.
Well, you
most of
didn't
it-
have to bring up that part, but
I'm talking. No, God, that was another joke. By the way, last time I should stop doing that because last time I did that on camera, you looked really upset. I was like, I'm talking, and you just went like your phone like this, and I felt really bad. I laughed it off poorly because it was supposed to be because I did it one time before. You laughed. The next
Yeah.
time you didn't laugh, and this time you didn't laugh.
yeah,
so I
because we had a
should-
system to actually not cut each other off, and we dropped it within the first 5 minutes.
I am sweating. Anyway, so everything I'm wearing is from Temu. You know, from the Super
Ugh.
Bowl. How would they get the Super Bowl ad? How did that happen? Anyway,
I hate to admit that they're actually good at what they promised, because
do you see what I'm wearing?
Yeah, that's what aggravates me about it. Because it's the first time I actually legitimately was wrong about a company.
Huh? No, this is shitty. That's the whole point. I've already
Well,
broken
yeah.
the pants, and the boots are not waterproof. Like
Yeah, but they delivered and given the shit to you. Because like, so here's
Oh.
the thing. I mean, everybody remember the fad Wish?
yeah,
Was the before
that's where Temu
them?
came from.
Yeah, like
Yeah, the idea of like
okay,
Chinese
the
selling
idea,
to yeah.
Okay, good. I was gonna say I was like, well, but like they
No, I didn't
rebrand
transfer.
themselves?
No.
Yeah, but Wish, I believed in Wish being the cheap alternative, like very cheap alternative. Like obviously, if you needed something, you get it from them at that point because you can't if you don't have the money for it. And I did that, but they were so inconsistent. They were so terrible.
Yeah, the YouTube
That-
trend that I'm following came from Wish. It was always like Wish body armor and Wish night vision and all that
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So
Yeah. Meanwhile, Temu is doing the same thing, but it looks like they're actually being consistent with the products they're trying to sell.
I mean, this took some of this. It took me like 2 months to get all this stuff. Not
That's
not
good.
not total, but I mean not a total. Not I didn't order it all at once, and then I got it 2 months later. It didn't take very long, as I'm saying.
Yeah, it took me 6 months just to get 5 things from Wish. So
Yeah. It took me 3.5 months to get some free laser pointers from Wish because when you first signed up, they would give you. This is not an ad for either one, by the way. I don't know if I have to say that.
yeah, I'm just mad that I'm wrong about it, and I still don't want to buy stuff from them.
Just don't put your credit card in. I just use Apple Pay because if you put your credit card in, it's very well known that they steal your credit card
Yeah,
or sell your
yeah.
credit card.
yeah,
So I just don't put
don't.
my credit card in, and I've never had an issue with it.
yeah. Apple Pay all the way. For
Some
that
would say
stuff.
you shouldn't use a company that does that, but
No
hey,
one listens.
this is America.
No one listens.
Capitalism.
Well, people are still mad that Facebook sells their information. I'm like, bro, that was like almost 10, 12 years ago that they did that.
Thing with that is though, that's actually they're an American company, so and they've been tried and fined, which means it is illegal.
Yeah,
they're doing
and people
something
still
wrong.
use it though, but no one's
I
been
don't use
consistent to
Facebook.
care about it. Yeah, so
use
it's fine. It's the American way. We'll complain about it, but we'll still use it until it gets really really bad, or unless we stop caring about it. So, to the main point of this is gonna be the stories about our servers. Do you have any stories you want to start off? Because I do want to go on the Valentines, but the Valentines I want for it to be the big thing.
Yeah, we can talk about that last.
Yeah.
I sound like the bug guy from Black Men in Black. Oh, did you like that one,
Oh,
Deep
she's
Dish?
comfortable. Yes, we have some questions for you, Deep Dish. Don't worry.
I embarrassed myself entirely at work about 2 weeks ago, 3, and I want to talk about it because I keep doing it and I gotta stop.
Okay, I don't know anything about this. I'm interested.
He doesn't know anything about this,
Yeah.
so I'll keep it on the wide. I like languages. I like speaking other languages. Deep Dish knows this.
Yes, I do.
Hold on, what was it? I already forgot. Danke.
Vita.
Yeah, see, we know. So, oh, you actually know about this more because I texted you about it on the day
Right.
it happened. So you
Right.
know more about
Oh
this.
yeah.
than-
Oh, this is that.
this is that.
Oh, okay.
I got embarrassed myself. So let's
And
start.
you've wait a minute. You've done this more than once.
Yeah, let's start with the first one real quick.
Oh,
Yeah, the moment he
Lord.
said it, it was the moment I realized, like, yeah, okay, he brought this up like 15 times at least.
No. I did not.
No, not to me. I'm just saying. I know you have probably spoken this, or at least spoken the language.
So
in this
let's
50
let's
times
back
at
let's
work.
back up a few. Let's back it up a little bit and talk about German. I think it was Russian was the first. I've done this 3 times. I forgot. So I'm trying to learn. Oh, I just crushed my balls. Sorry.
Oh lordy, yeah, that
I'm trying to. These pants are way too tight. I'm trying to learn different languages this year. It's a goal of mine. I want to learn. First, I want to do Russian. No. First, I want to do Spanish, and then I'm going to do Russian, German. The 4 languages I want to know are. I want to know Spanish, Russian, English. Spanish, Russian,
you're having trouble
German.
with that, anyways.
Yeah. Spanish, Russian, German, Japanese. Those are the 4 languages I want to know in my lifetime. This year, I'm supposed to do Spanish in my little plan because I'm Hispanic and I don't know Spanish. I'm that kind of Hispanic. So
Use the worst version of it.
you heard it here first, folks.
I-
Didn't know Jason was racist.
Out of curiosity, why
it's not
why are
racist, though.
you foregoing French and Italian for Russian, for example, or German, for example, or
It's
why are you excluding them?
I learned French in high school, so I have a good base. So if I want to do that, it'd be quicker.
Okay.
For high school, middle school, all that. And I just have interest in those 4 languages, personal interest.
Fair enough.
I do.
Is-
Of
is-
course, I would like if I handle all those, I would love to learn more.
Swedish has its own language, right?
I think they just speak German, don't they? Like a version of German.
I think it's just, yeah,
'Cause
probably.
Swedish isn't a language.
Yeah. Yeah, the Swedes don't have their own language, right?
We could be
The-
very
the-
wrong on this.
I know the Dutch themselves have their own language, right?
Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dutch.
Yeah. Do Swedish speak
Okay, cool.
German? I mean, do Swedish speak Dutch?
I think so. I think they do.
Is it like Canada where they just speak everything? All mixed?
I believe
think
that.
so,
I would
eh?
believe that. 100%.
I think so, eh?
Are they the Canada of Europe? Or is
Maybe.
Europe the Canada of... Wait.
Is Europe the Canada?
Anyway, so back to the story, because we can't do tangents this week. We can't do tangents this week. We did tangents last week. No, 2 weeks ago.
Is Europe the Canada?
Europe, Canada.
You're like,
Someone's gonna be angry. They're gonna be angry with the information we've given them.
he liked that one too. Deep dish. It's pizza, by the way, if you didn't get the joke earlier.
Damn,
Since
they got it.
since
They
we're
got
saying
it.
all the jokes today out loud.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yeah.
On the side note, they wanted to go with they wanted to use a little bit of history. So if anyone knows
Oh, talk about Metal Gear. Talk about what you said.
Metal Gear, no, because what you said was actually actual history, right? Yeah. So
No,
if
I'm telling
anyone,
the story before. Okay, so I'll tell the story. But okay, tangent time.
What?
Before the podcast, we were talking about deep dish and the reference and damn.
Yeah.
What number is that? So every 5 minutes, I have to bleep
yeah,
out. Jason. I didn't mean to say his name. Jason was confused on what deep throat was. He didn't know.
mm-hmm.
So we were talking about the history, and he was like, "What was the game?"
Oh, Metal Gear. Was
Yeah.
Where I got
So Metal
sent to
Gear,
it.
he was like, "Oh, like in that game, Metal Gear." I was like, "Yeah, where'd you think they get it from, Jason?"
Yeah. You
Anyway.
think I know my history? You think I know about American history? No.
So a table. These
Well,
buttons are too sensitive.
yeah, you are American.
Is he?
not in the eyes of all the other Americans. They look at me as like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "Bitch, here. What do you want?"
From Florida?
I want. It's so funny because they don't believe me being in Florida. They believe me more anywhere else.
You seem like you're from the north. You do.
Yeah.
I don't know if
it's
that's a
'cause-
compliment.
No, because Florida is branched up into like multiple different places. Like, yeah, you heard that too, right? Yeah.
You don't have an upstairs neighbor, but something
No, we
just.
don't. Yeah, something just cracked up there. It's a good thing we're leaving soon.
It's a good thing Deep Dish is under where it cracked, because I don't. He can't sue if he's dead.
You can't. Well,
I think it's a squirrel.
it probably is a squirrel, but that's even
Oh,
worse thing. 'cause
Don't
we
invite
get
any
to-
cops over here. Did you hear about that?
What?
The cop that shot up his police car because an acorn hit his windshield.
No,
Was somebody inside the police car?
No.
I just read about that.
We're getting on 16 tangents. Hold on.
Yes.
There's 3 people is too many already. All right, I've learned this. So, languages. Jesus Christ. Remember the acorn. Deep dish. Couple months ago now, there was a table, and I'm really good at recognizing languages. Like, if I hear them speaking it, I can like, okay, that's... Except for I get trouble with Russian, Ukrainian. I haven't figured out. But then I get
Yes.
like context clues with like, how they're speaking, and Okay, Russian. That doesn't sound like Ukrainian. That sounds like Russian. That's just the hardest one for me. Because like I can tell the difference between Chinese and Korean and Japanese. All those I can tell the difference. But for some reason, Ukrainian and Russian, I get a little smushed.
I knew a girl from Ukraine.
Lucky you.
Mm. She was my rival.
Also lucky you. And so I heard them speaking, and I thought it'd be nice because it was a slow day. I was like, let me look up because I always forget. That's my issue is remembering the phrases in that. Like I could say it right now, but it would take me about 2 minutes to remember it. But I remember it. So I just learned the phrase. Oh well, hold on. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 30. No, 30 seconds. Hold on.
I don't think we can.
Just
wait
silence.
2 minutes.
We're gonna cut it out, but just silence for a couple seconds so I can remember. I'm not gonna remember. So it was just like good afternoon or like have a good day or something like
Do
that.
you know the words?
German?
Russian.
Yeah. Oh, Russian.
Not in Russian. No.
So
German,
this was Russian.
yes.
So there was a table. They were speaking Russian. So when they were done with their meal and they stood up and walked away, I just said, "Have a good day" in Russian or something. I either said "Have a good day" or "Hope you enjoyed your meal" or something like that in Russian. And they were older. They were like 60 plus. So I was like 70 plus maybe. They were pretty old. And I was like, I said this thing and they were like very happy to hear. They were like, "Oh, wow, did you learn?" They were like very surprised and very happy. And of course, I got like a good feeling from them. Like, "Oh, look this. I like this feeling." So I've chased that feeling ever since.
Yeah.
And so now a couple weeks after that, I don't know why I've had so many international tables lately, but there was a Russian table again, and then a German table in the middle. So I did the Russian bit again. I was like, "Have a good night" in Russian, and they were like, "Oh, cool." They had less of a reaction. But I was like, "Oh, have a good night," and they said it back to me, and then they head off just like in English. And then the German table. This is when it takes a deep dish over here. Let's see what happened. I went up to him, to the main guy who seemed like the main man, and I heard them speaking German. I was like, okay, 100% that's German. So what I said, I looked up how to say "you're welcome." That's what I did because they were saying thank you in English, so I figured I'd pass the torch and say "you're welcome" in German. So I looked it up and it was gern geschehen. Is "you're welcome." Gern geschehen. Yeah, something like that.
I didn't know it as that.
Yeah,
no.
so
I thought it was something else.
what deep dish texted me was
Bitteschön.
bitteschön. So I'm sure there's many ways to say "you're welcome," just like there's many ways. But the way Google told me, which not the best source, was gern geschehen. So that's just what I went with because Google's gotten better in the last couple of years.
Did you go Google or Google Translate?
Translate?
Okay.
It's gotten better in the last few years with
Okay.
sentences. But so one word's always been fine, but like sentences is where it struggled. Anyway, so I walked up to one of them and I said it really quietly because I'm a nervous person. To the younger guy, I was like, he said thank you. I said "gern geschehen," and I whispered like that, and he was like, he took for a second. He was like, "Oh," I was like, because I walked away real quick, and then I went to and no one else heard me, no, maybe the guy next to him heard me. He was like, "Oh," and then I walked to the older gentleman, and he was. I said, I poured a water. He said, "thank you." And I said, "gern geschehen," a little louder. And his face was so awesome. So he was like talking to us. He heard me say it. He was like he was so shocked and so surprised. And I looked at him and I was like, I just standing like this. Ah. And he was just so happy to hear someone speaking his language here. Because I'm sure no one makes the effort. And that's really why I was trying to do it, because I want to like extend that effort to anyone who's not from here. And obviously I want to learn the full language in that, but I haven't gotten there yet. Anyway, those were the good times. And then something bad happened.
I was waiting for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That's
So about a week later, another younger German
oh boy.
people came in. And there was just two people came in. My voice is really cracking. I wish you had water here. Soda first thing in the morning is not really good for me. I'm getting nervous telling this story. I'm sweating. So I'm sure it's not as dramatic as I'm making it, but boy, with my anxiety, it sure is. So I walk up and I do a gern geschehen, and they don't say nothing. So I'm like, cool, walk away. And I look up how to say "have a good night," Oh, what the whole phrase? I have it on my phone actually. The whole phrase was, "I hope you had a. I hope." Let me just. It's right here. I have it in the podcast things. Oh, it was gonna be, "Good night. I hope you had a good time." That's the phrase. So it's "Good Nacht. Ich hoffe du hattest gute Zeit." Gute Zeit. That's the phrase. Let me see again. "Good Nacht. Ich hoffe du hattest ein gute Zeit." I hope you had a good time. That's the phrase. He stood up to walk away because I didn't want to if I fucked up or if I offended him, I didn't want to like hurt the waiter's time. So I signed the bill, got up to leave, and that's when I made my move. So uh, it was way more awkward than I expected it to be. I walk up to him, literally like this, like hands like this, because he's really tall. He's like 6'6". So I walk up, I'm looking up at him like a child, and I go, good night. And he looked down at me and goes, "That's right." No, he says, "That's true." So
That's
that was
true.
my first. That was my first. Like it paused me, and I lost everything. He looked down at me and said, "I said good night." He said, "That's true." He just he very German, and so I just lost it. I was looking up at him. I was like, yeah. I did the accent, and I was like, yeah, and struggling to remember this phrase, and I can't remember it now because I'm in the zone of like I lost it. So it took me about 40 seconds to say the phrase. It was so long, and by this time his friend had come up beside him and just like listening, like very kind. They're very kind. They're very kindly listening to me, waiting for me to finish. And then once I finish, he started speaking German to me.
Oh boy. Oh
And-
boy.
And I'm of course I don't know nothing because I'm a poser at this point. And he starts speaking German. He says, what's he say? Because I could just by
What
context.
are you
Clues-
doing in this country? Why are you stuck here?
Right.
Why don't go back home to the motherland?
Yeah, he was so convinced. So he said, he just said, "Where's the restroom?" And I didn't quite hear him, and B, I'm sure if I waited 40 seconds, I would have got the context. But so I was like, I just said, and pretend like I didn't hear him.
Oh God.
And
That's
so he
the
said it in
worst
English.
response.
He said it in English. He's like, "Where's your restroom?" I was like, "Oh, it's right over there." And I said, "Have a good night." And I was just like,
This was like watching a slow train
oh,
wreck.
I was just like, oh, I ruined it.
I would say you had to have felt, very short, but you already did because the guy's like 12 feet tall. Are you ever nervous about messing up a line so bad that you think you're saying something, but you accidentally say something else that would grossly offend them?
Yeah, that's
Like-
why the anxiety comes from. That's why I reverse check Google 3 times. I say this phrase in English, change to German. I copy and paste that phrase into German, say it in English, and if it's the same, then I go say it. Yeah.
But then once you get out there and you say it and you
Very
make
true.
a
He
slip,
said, "That's true."
you make a slip.
Apparently, I stand there for 40 seconds and continue on. Barrel through. No. Barrel through.
It's a dangerous game unless you're very familiar with
Yeah.
what you want to say.
No. I practiced it for about. They sat there for an hour and a half eating. Oh, I was talking to Mike. They sat there for an hour and a half eating, and I was practicing it the whole time, and I still took 40 seconds to get out
Why did you get so nervous?
because of the offense situation, like potential of offense, and
I mean, they can be
trying
offended.
to. I guess I'm trying to impress them, and so there's just.
I don't think- I
just
don't-
anxiety.
Well, you probably shouldn't go in there impressing them with the fact that you know it. But I think it's just good character that you just want to learn.
Yeah,
And
I don't.
think it's
Yeah,
and also they're not going to be impatient with you.
No, they weren't.
probably
They were
gonna
very
be-
kind.
Yeah, they're probably going to be like, oh, so someone's learning our language. That's interesting. That's nice.
Yeah, so those 3 situations have made me. I'm buying a tutoring thing to learn Spanish first, and then the rest. So it's just expensive, so I haven't done it yet. But
Oh yeah, of course.
that was the kick
That's
in the
why
boot.
you need Duolingo. No, just kidding.
I don't think it's about impressing them as much as I think it's just a neat thing for them, being
Impressing in terms of Americans are seen as not intelligent places, so they had to learn to extend the effort is what I'm trying to say, I guess, to show them the extent of effort.
Not seen as an intelligent place.
dude, America is not an intelligent place according to
It is, but
according to the rest of the world.
thanks to the internet, it is not seen as like everywhere is intelligent. You know,
I think
I don't
some
know how to-
places are more intelligent than others, but we're getting into a
Statistically.
tangent here.
Yeah.
statistically. Well, now that story's over. So,
I mean, that you gotta have the right sources to back it up if you want to
Google.
continue on with that conversation. Like that's why whenever I speak Spanish to people, I don't stay there for more than 30 seconds because I know that their Spanish is gonna be separated from mine.
Because there's different dialects.
I mean, Spanish itself is just like American language. Is where you go is where you're gonna find the dialect of it, and sometimes the words are not going to connect.
The weird part
Also-
about it is the smaller the countries, the more dialects they have. Like England has, I think, 18 dialects, and the top to the bottom can't usually understand each other.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's weird to me. Because America, you can understand someone from California, and we're in
It was because the English language itself
New York City.
is pretty good at being so broad, which is why we get away with a lot of things. I understand the whole English problem with the similarities in words, two and two, being one of them.
There.
Yeah. Well, being separate words. But what makes American language
A lot of
so
homonyms.
helpful and so
lot of
useful is because it's one of those languages that nothing really sticks together. Nothing's too similar. You can kind of get away with saying anything, and you also have enough words to describe what you need. Like even describing cilantro, I've seen so many Americans talk about how to describe it. It's like a weird clover style plant, but it's not a full clover. It's just bushy on its own, and you have enough words to actually describe what you're looking for. Whereas in Spanish, we have to concrete ourselves in one word. That's why it always makes you laugh when people are like, "Oh, there's no gender neutral words." I'm like, "Yeah, there are. It's just that we're so entwined with just concrete wording. Is just that it doesn't have a strong meaning as a lot of people will think."
Yeah.
Like for another example, any Spanish person probably understand this. We get misgendered a lot in our families, not because of his confusion or anything. It's just because who the fuck cares? The older mentality. The whole point of the sentence is that we need to be somewhere right now in this instance, and that's why we always get confused about all these things. Also, names themselves get confusing.
Well, isn't there a push in the Spanish language to get rid of gender identification? In other words, instead of saying
Be careful.
There is, but
Albania
yeah,
or
but
Albano, it's
the part that makes
Alban.
the part that makes me laugh about it is I feel like they're attacking the wrong parts of that. Whereas, like, I understand why you're attacking the language, I do. But like Spanish culture, have you ever took a second to actually look at their culture? Like, I know America gets a lot of shit on for like advertising women and stuff, but like Spanish culture, it's a prideful advertisement that comes from that. Like, there are women in shows walking around with bikinis, and this is like still with the early 2000s. I'm assuming it has changed in recent times. But no, they took pride in advertising a woman like that. They took pride in shows making fun of the whole concept of love and being in a relationship and finding these people. So for them to attack like languages, I think is like one of the weirdest parts you want to go after. Because I understand you want gender neutral terms, but like I said before, if you know the language well enough, you realize that no one really gives a shit about that kind of part. Like, we all get misgendered pretty quickly. Not because it's inconsistent or because, we don't stick up to the standards of Spanish people. It's just, that's just kind of how we blend it. That's just kind of how it is for us. It's the same way people get mad at the color black. And they're like, well, you can't say it because it's too offensive. Like, it's not. If you know the language
offensive in
too
America.
well, it's it doesn't fucking matter. Because there's a lot of worse words you can go and defend and also get rid of.
Yeah, it's like they don't quite get the etymology of it. Because where do they think we got the we? Where do they think America got the N word to begin with? It's probably
Yeah.
from Spanish.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to remember, America is the melting pot of the nation. That's why we're always viewed as the most unusual groupings, because every problem that every other nation has, America is going to have. Why? Because again, we're the melting pot. We're not going to destroy culture. Well, we're not going to destroy 100% of the culture, but it's all the issues that come with it is going to exist. Hence why Spanish people stick together, black communities stick together. They have their arts and they have the graffiti to represent themselves, and it gets thrown away when white people come to move in. Same with white culture, trying to find the picket fence, trying to have the gated neighborhoods and all that stuff. And along with Indian culture, so on and so forth, it's that weird level of separation, yet it all melts together at the same point. That's why I personally do love New York, because New York is kind of the embodiment of that. You can find your Spanish households, but they're all fucking blend together. Like you're gonna find your stores that's gonna be black owned, Spanish owned, Indian owned, and you're gonna go to which one gives you the best service right then and there.
There's
So
more to the German story.
there is.
I forgot.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well continue onward then. We're only been on one segment.
So the guy comes back from the
Yeah,
bathroom.
yeah. Did he come back from the bathroom?
No, it's
Did he
before
come
that.
back?
It's before that. I just forgot to say it. When they stood up, when they were at the table, there was a rowdy couple who like was upset about probably the price of the menu.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they weren't saying that. They were just complaining about other stuff that
Uh,
was like kind of nonsense.
Another table or that table?
Another
table.
Okay.
So they were sat here, and they were in a table, and the rowdy was at a booth right behind them, right behind. 200s, the right side, you know. And they were making a ruckus, not like a loud ruckus, but they were like complaining a lot and just outspoken about their complaints. That's fine. They're allowed to be, to a point. And the German twos, when I walked, because I was also there, I was the guy's waiter assistant, so I was helping out around the table. He stopped me for a second. I was pouring the water. He stopped me for a second. He said, after the couple left, because they left without eating, they were like, one of them asked me, "Are they the owner?" No, sorry, they moved tables. They didn't leave. They moved from there to there. That was one of their complaints. So they said, they like pointed over towards the table and said, "Are they the owners of this restaurant?" And I was like, "No." And he said,
No.
"Oh no, I'm sorry. This is when they were standing, because part of it. They were standing up, and they asked me. That table left. They were leaving, and they asked me, were they the owner? Like they already gone. They said, were those the owners of the restaurant?" And I was like, "No." And I realized immediately, like they thought because they were making such a big stink that they owned the place. So that's what they think of Americans.
Hmm.
Is that the owners of a place would make a big stink about it, and then have to make a move in the tables. So that's his impression. So that's kind of a bad impression, unfortunately. But so I say no, and no discussion. He just goes, "Okay," and walks away. And then his friend just goes, "Bye," and then walks away.
That's a weird impression to have, because if you're the owner,
Oh.
you wouldn't change tables.
Yeah, you wouldn't kind of just move on from that. And
I think he
I
had
don't
a
think-
preconception about Americans being how some Americans are, and that kind of confirmed some of them. And for some reason, he just equated that to owning something, owning the restaurant.
Yeah,
Maybe because he watches
maybe that is how it is over there. Maybe the
kitchen,
owners like to sit there or change the spots.
kitchen nightmares.
But wouldn't the owners throw the rowdy table? Why would the owners be the?
I don't know. Maybe he got the
confused.
wrong word in, but
Mhm.
I think he asked the right question and I answered the question. I don't know.
It could also just be simply that they're just loud and they haven't been thrown out yet. So like there's probably some kind of prestigeness that comes from them.
Got it.
So I was like, all right, because that would make more sense. All right,
All right.
I want to get to the big question now.
Well, let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, because we probably took a lot of time.
We have kind of a lot of time left, so I was trying to ask Deep Dish here a question.
Deep Dish, are you ready to answer?
Yes or no?
Okay.
He's good
Really
at that.
consistent.
He's really good at that.
He's very consistent. I thought this dog would probably break him by now, but no.
I break the dog.
Okay,
All
don't say that. Don't say that like that.
All right. Super hard hitting question from a viewer, let's say.
In North Carolina,
In North Carolina.
I want
Oh,
to get people to
lordy.
call in eventually. I think
in
that'd be really
Bismarck,
fun.
North Dakota.
Oh, I'll bring this up after.
Caller,
Let me
you're
write
on
this
the
down.
line.
Hold on.
Very Larry Kingish.
We got an international call. Where's it from? It's
And-
from the Galapagos
All
Islands
of
of
a sudden, there's a
Ecuador.
German guy calling.
Hold on.
That was my server assistant. He didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
Have you ever been to Germany?
He's a
No.
bitch. That's what he is.
You ever been to Europe?
He just hangs up.
Typical American.
Where you going? Oh, be careful now.
So
Careful.
this is a restaurant podcast. I know we haven't talked about it.
Yeah, we haven't
today.
brought that up
Son
yet.
of a
I've been
bitch. How am
trying
I-
to.
Well, there was a bit of the restaurant. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Add to photos.
Talk about the rest.
Do you have your phone on you, Deep Dish?
I do.
Okay. I just typed in Deep Dish in my phone.
Why? Oh, to
Yeah.
He's
text.
getting too used to
Yeah.
it now.
All right, so I'm sending you a message. I'll send it to Jason. Do you have your phone as well?
Yes.
Here, don't look at it yet. Ah, son of a bitch! Don't look at it yet. Deep Dish. I gotta write that down. All right, go ahead and actually just go ahead and observe the photo. All right, you guys both got it?
Yeah, but I can't.
What is this? What am I looking at?
Do you have a Deep Dish?
Why? Yeah. Why does the brightness always just change randomly?
It's on auto
It's probably on auto.
because there's a bright light right above you.
Okay, what's up with? Wait a minute. What is that? Why?
Is that, here's the question for Deep Dish as a restaurant insider audience, here's the image. Is that a bridge or a McDonald's?
Let's go back.
Can I read both?
Can it be both? This is the discussion.
The arch itself is not a bridge. Now, the structure behind it that you can only see the left side and the right side.
No, sorry. Factually, to be fair,
Or
the
is the
arch
road going
is a bridge.
underneath it?
there is a road going underneath it. What you're seeing is the parking lot.
Okay, so the road going underneath it. So it wouldn't be.
So you walk under the arch. That's the bridge.
You could drive under it.
You can drive under it. You cannot drive on.
I don't consider that a bridge. I consider that an overpass.
Yeah, I've seen overpass.
Because
But no,
a
there's a walk-
bridge is something that you drive over or walk
Walk over, right? You can walk.
Well, it's a
through this.
pedestrian bridge, but not a bridge in the normal sense of.
Well, just a bridge in general is what I'm saying. I'm not talking about like a driving bridge.
Can you walk on that? I
You
don't
can
know.
walk
You
through it.
from
You
one
can
end to
walk-
the other.
From one end to the other. You can go over that road under it through the McDonald's.
Okay, so then yeah.
But
it's
not on top of the McDonald's.
not on top.
Not,
So-
well, you
so it
could,
is a
but that's probably
bridge.
trespassing.
So you can go under it. Let's just say north and south, and you
Yeah.
can go through it east and west,
Correct. Is it a bridge
I'll have to say,
or-
yeah, at that point,
or
or McDonald's?
or an overpass. I guess is what you want to go with.
I mean, at the end of the day,
Overpasses means you drive over it.
at the end of the day, clearly it's a McDonald's,
Correct.
but it's a unique McDonald's because it is a McDonald's that is a bridge and an overpass.
Could you imagine walking inside the McDonald's? Like, what do you want? Nothing. I gotta walk past you guys. Actually, could you imagine McDonald's fucking closing and you can't walk past them now? They just
Well, they used to be
closed off the
24
whole
hours. That's
thing.
just COVID. Now a bridge closes.
Yeah, that's terrible. That means if I go do my thing and I have to come back, I'm gonna be fucked.
All right. Well, that settles that debate of 2 years. It's a bridge.
Pain in the ass.
I
That's what that
think it's
is,
a
pain in the
bridge of
ass.
sorts, but at the end of the day, if I had to choose one, that's a McDonald's because that's what it is.
Oh no, I say it's a bridge
But
with a McDonald's on it.
okay, fair enough.
We got it.
I'll go with his thing.
Oh shoot, I keep losing it.
Thing.
We're about
Yeah.
to. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. All right. So we're gonna. Now it's time for an ad break.
What?
Yeah. Big surprise of the day. We have an ad break. Ready? Ready for this? If you want your ad here, comment below or message us at this email address.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do something about like.
That's our ad break.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a Valentine's love.
I thought it was gonna, like a vaginal itching thing that goes right into Valentine's Day.
Yeah, okay, you didn't have to
You know,
specify.
like a bloody massacre.
You didn't have to
Like,
specify
you know what I mean?
that.
Just like some
No.
sort of vaginal, like it's vaginal bleeding that goes straight into Valentine's Day. The Valentine's Day massacre.
Dude, did you watch the Valentine Massacre movie?
A little bit, but not on Valentine's Day.
Gosh.
But I thought that's what
That
you were gonna do
reminded-
is
that reminded me
advertise
of that
vaginal
fucking movie.
itching.
That movie was a weird movie that came at a very bad time. Actually, no, it came at an appropriate time because that was the whole premise of it. But
Right,
That is
that
not what
was
I
the
wanted
whole
to
premise of
come
it.
out of that bit.
Okay, well then let me take the wheels on this one.
Yep.
All right,
So
deep
now,
dish, you-
speaking of Valentine's Day, thanks for bringing it up. Deep dish.
I wanted to ask a question to you.
Okay.
I mentioned this before the podcast, but I wanted to bring it up. On Valentine's, were you told by the upper heads that you had to hit a quota for them when it comes to like having
In
the
a
guests
sense,
inside?
just maximize the amount of people that we do. That was, it wasn't a certain number. It wasn't a certain check average. It was maximize the number of people and focus on, but with an emphasis, not focus, put an emphasis
Mhm.
on specials for Valentine's Day.
Okay. See, so a tip for everybody who happens to watch this: if you want to have something special on Valentine's Day,
Don't
do
go
it,
to
do
eat
it
on
your own-
Valentine's
yes,
Day.
do it on your own time.
Don't go out to eat.
Do not go out to eat. Another question. I know you work the mornings, but was it god awful in the morning for you? When you came to it or no?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, so you were there for the calm before the storm.
The calm before the storm and the calm after the storm.
Do
But
you-
go ahead, because I want to talk about the storm itself. Because I have
okay, I was
some,
gonna
I have
say,
some
do you
favorite
have any
things.
stories that you picked up from the
Well,
comments that you can say, but not you know.
I don't have specific stories from any specific Valentine's Day. This is just experience over the years. But one of the things that I look forward to
Oh gosh, look forward to.
is things like when there's a marriage proposal on Valentine's Day in the restaurant and one
Oh,
of
did
the
that
others
happen?
says no.
Oh, did that happen?
Oh yeah.
Today.
Oh,
Oh, I
well,
love
no,
that.
not necessarily, but listen to the laundry list of shit that happens.
Go ahead.
So there's that. Couples will get into a fight
Mm-hmm.
and leave the other one. We had a couple one time. The man left the woman. They lived in a different state, and she had to Uber her own way home because he took their car, and he
What?
literally left her there.
My gosh.
Because he said no?
No, because they
just
got
got in a
into a
fight.
fight.
Oh,
Damn.
no.
That's a one
And
hell
then,
of an
well, no,
anger.
it had nothing to do with a marriage proposal. It was just a fight.
Yeah.
What about a marriage story?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that's
I will
insane.
say this: Valentine's Day, people. It's funny because people will bring in their wife, normally throughout the year, and then their girlfriend on Valentine's Day.
So you've seen the same.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes.
Watching the same person
Yes,
with their
yes.
significant
That
other
is
And then-
actually
out of
insane.
nowhere.
And yes, and different forms of
And
payment.
when we have to act like
so
we
you
don't know
can't
them.
trace it.
And we have to act like we don't know them. I'm like, man,
And
Right,
this-
right,
this is-
right.
months.
Right.
is
You
why-
coming out here.
He is wearing the mask.
I
Informing us.
love that. So I did want to get to one of the points that you mentioned. Marriage proposals of them saying no to. Do you remember anything that ever got like physical in that, or was it just a simple no?
Like banging in the restaurant?
No,
No, where
like fighting,
like violence.
yeah, violence.
No,
like
no,
banging in the restaurant?
No,
I don't know what kind of banging you're getting into, man.
no,
That's
it's.
scary.
The
Is
good
that
kind.
why you have all that gear?
I need to be. Oh, I'm yelling. I need to be ready.
I need to be ready for anything.
All right, go ahead.
Even vaginal itching.
Stop it! Don't bring that up.
Um,
Don't bring that up again.
Well, you wanted it. So there
Okay,
was
listen, I get they take all comers, but that's not who we're gonna go after as well, okay?
Well, what are we gonna do? Do you have jock itch? I mean, what's the
No,
Finish
no,
the
no,
story
no.
you were telling.
Yeah, so let's go back to the story.
there's
Oh my
Any
god.
stories you have that actually ended with them saying no, and anything that got physical, like any physical
no,
altercation?
nothing got necessarily physical, just a lot of crying, fighting, yelling, and
Oh, the acorn.
one
Sorry.
or the other leaving. I haven't forgotten about the acorn. One
No,
or
go
the
ahead.
other leaving. But there are, some heartwarming ones where and the proposal goes right and everyone says yes and it's grand and blah blah blah. But they do get cheesy. It's the same typical stereotypical proposal
I
where
love
the
you,
guy will
special.
put a ring and a champagne glass in the bottom of
Noise.
it. What?
Sorry, that was Russian.
Yeah.
You were rushing or you're Russian?
They Russian.
Oh.
Oh.
I put the mask on.
Is
The Russian just came out.
Is that
Oh.
even clean to do?
Probably wasn't
Putting
good
the
Russian.
ring in the.
Well, yeah, because the
sparkling
ring
glass?
hasn't been worn. It's
I always found that kind of bad though, because
Not gonna lie, I was not listening.
what if they start drinking it?
No, you
they
tell them
don't
before.
see
You
it.
put it down, then they see the ring.
no, you put it. No, I was saying the stereotypical where they'll
Yeah.
put the ring at the bottom of a glass of champagne and
Mhm.
serve it.
See, I can't.
The thing
I
though is,
can't
though,
do
I've
that.
only ever seen that in TV. I've never seen it in person, so I might do that in person because I've never seen it actually done.
Or even put a ring in a dessert, like the top of a dessert is part of a decoration. So the top of the ring is sticking out of the dessert.
Since I've worked
See.
where we work, we've had two proposals.
Oh yeah, we
One
did.
was a
I
yes,
forgot about that.
and one was not a yes.
Oh boy.
And she left in an Uber. Good thing they didn't live in
I don't
another
think I was
state.
there for that. But
They usually
Oh,
do.
just to clarify, we don't work with deep dish.
well,
just to
they didn't
clarify.
even know about that. This is a simple informant. That's all we need.
right.
Yeah, I'm saying we
So-
don't. I'm saying we don't work with them.
Here's my thing though. I can't do that. I gotta be special. I don't think a champagne glass is gonna do it. Okay, so for me, what I would do is I put that bitch in a steak. Okay, all right. Something you
That's the
least
beginning of the
expect.
podcast.
That is something you least expect.
I put that
okay?
bitch in a steak.
Yeah. Okay. I need that lobster tail to be like closed. I need her to rip that shit up, and then you just see the ring pop out.
Or
Okay, that's what I
in the
need.
bottom of a baked potato.
Hell yeah, baby.
I don't think you should do a marriage proposal in a restaurant. I think it should be someplace
who works in the restaurant.
meaningful.
I am glad. Yes, I'm.
And
I'm
more
with you on
intimate.
that one.
Here's the thing, though. I've been working in a restaurant for years and years now. It's meaningful to me now.
No,
Plus, I get a
not for
discount.
me.
It's meaningful.
For me, it is. Yeah.
Not even.
Why?
Oh, because I really like working there, and I feel a connection to the restaurant. Not to necessarily people there, some people, but just to
Wait a
the
minute.
restaurant.
What's meaningful?
The restaurant.
Working in the restaurant industry.
Oh,
I'm saying to me, the restaurant is meaningful. This one,
well, I understand that, but you work there though.
correct?
Yeah.
You're not going to possibly humiliate yourself in front of 300 other people or
Well,
put
for
someone
us,
in
it
a
was
position
500.
to humiliate you.
I'm
I
in.
think you're better off doing an intimate proposal at, I don't know, where
For-
you went on your first date.
First of all, I don't like attention.
Here's.
Wait. Anyway, I don't like normal. I normally don't like attention, which is why. Oh, we can get into this now. Why we kicked Deep Dish off the first podcast, because I was so anxious about filming for the first time in front of someone else who wasn't involved. He was kicked off the set. First day. He's been here the whole time. He's been behind camera.
I was booted.
He lives with us. No, I'm just kidding.
and I was critiqued as well for possible
He's my father.
work that I haven't even done yet. I can manage
Critique for
three.
work
I
I
can
haven't
manage.
done yet.
I can manage 3 buttons.
He doesn't have. Oh, so you did bring it up. He doesn't have.
He didn't have the college.
He doesn't have his
degree to
green
push
card.
3 buttons we even wanted him to push, which is fine because Lord knows I couldn't fucking do it.
It's easy.
I have not
You
even
just-
looked.
It's difficult.
I have not even looked.
No,
It's difficult.
you
Next
just-
time, you know what? Next time you're gonna do the button pushing. I've been doing it this whole time.
Go
You
ahead.
get the buttons
Yeah.
next time.
This is the question for those I actually don't want to ask.
Button.
For that's the finger I hit it with. All right.
That's what she said.
Gosh, damn you and your office jokes. Okay, so yeah, so I do have a question for the audience if you guys want to answer.
Don't look at me. Look at the camera.
Do you guys believe in multiple proposals?
Pardon?
Because I've always
Multiple
No,
been.
explain that. Hold on.
'cause-
Explain that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am.
No, explain that.
But, duh. So I've always had that idea that deep dish has brought up. You know, going to the restaurant proposal. That's like every person's like movie dream essentially, but it doesn't mean that's for everybody. You know.
Are you gonna die
Yeah, I
over
don't know
there?
what he's doing over there. You have to mute the mic for him. But
Oh, yeah.
along with that, my genuine answer is for me, I feel like everyone should experience proposal, but I also do believe that there should be a special moment between you two. You know, so like saying if you guys are both introverted and you believe proposing to them at your home, decorating it to the T, that's very nice and beautiful. But you want to have that special moment with your family, well then you plan something with a significant other about that with that family in mind. So my question again is, are you fine with doing multiple proposals for the sake of enjoying yourself and enjoying the moments and having the stories to tell them, or do you believe that one proposal should be enough and that should only be one and only?
Real quick, since my girlfriend does watch the podcast, I wouldn't randomly propose. We would talk about it if
no,
we're
of
ready to
course,
get
talking,
married.
Talking, yeah, no,
That way it wouldn't be a no deep dish. I wouldn't embarrass myself.
Well, yeah,
you-
talking should be
but-
mandatory when you're in
well,
the relationship.
Well, for the first guy, for the first proposal we saw, it wasn't because she said no and walked out.
Yeah, but
Well,
the
yeah,
thing
but
is,
that's what I
you can talk about it. It just might not be the right time for her, so she will say
Her?
no. What?
Yeah.
She'll just say no, and then that brings up: do you go back and propose again later?
No, I'm saying it wouldn't be
Yeah.
a no. If I'm going to ask, it's going to be yes because the uppercut coming down from the floor would be insane.
What the fuck did that come from?
And-
It's gotta be yes, because trust me, whew, that fucking uppercut, is gonna bring shame to her family and the next generation over, okay?
I got
well,
no. That's a Naruto meme. I'm gonna put it here. I got that from somewhere else. I didn't write that.
Okay.
Oh God! But I wanted to use it for so long.
But that's also been my genuine concern with it, because yeah, talking to your significant other is important.
God, go away.
But sometimes people want to have that beautiful moment, and sometimes proposal is never gonna be that one and note kind of mentality.
well, what about a misinterpretation of the answer? Like
Yes or
if-
no?
Yeah. Well, here's the example. If he says they're at the table in the restaurant and he says, "Will you marry me?" And at the same time, she's like, "Oh no, I got vaccine."
Stop
Oh,
it!
you
Don't
know-
bring
God.
that up, but it's
I'm
between you and
bleeping that one. You only get two.
We
Damn it!
just said we leave it at that.
I just said your name again. I gotta write.
Stop doing that.
Stop it.
It's like every 5 minutes.
For the bit that you two try to create,
You
guys
only
really
get
can't
one
hold it
deep
together.
dish. I'm bleeping the other 5 that you did.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one.
I-
Everybody gets one vaginal itch. That's mine.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be something like, could you imagine proposing? Like, I
Well-
just want, I want to spend my life with you. I want to marry you. And and she's like, you know what? I just been having issues with it. Thank you for the dinner. I don't believe this is right. And just starts eating. She gives a no.
Or-
This steak is a little too raw. Can you put it into medium? I don't think it's the right time for us.
If she's
I
itching,
believe we
if she's
need it
itching
too.
vaginally, I think she's used to raw.
Okay,
Oh.
still, what the hell did that come from? That. Oh my gosh, what is with you?
or a rare steak, it's a little bloody.
Ew, stop it.
So
No,
why do you
my
keep
God.
bringing it back to vaginal blood, man?
Well,
Like,
because that's
I have
what
to
it-
bleep all this now.
No, you don't.
I-
This is the best part of the fucking podcast.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So real quick, because we're ending
Ew,
soon.
that's so nasty. Could you just, as soon as honey, I'm gonna be honest with you, we're not doing anything after tonight because this steak is just like me. Just
Right,
fucking red
right.
everywhere.
Just red and flappy.
Ew. Oh, you did not have to add that.
Just flappy and bloody.
Ew, stop it.
Deep Dish will not be invited to the next
Deep
podcast.
Deep Dish will have a new code name if you want to
Deep Dish
fucking
is
come
banned
back.
from the podcast after
Okay.
this. In fact, from now on, his face is gonna be the whole rest of this podcast. I've decided his face is blurred.
Oh, I thought you'd be like, his face is right here. That's his picture right there.
Right, I thought you were gonna say.
Oh yeah,
deepdish.
here's his identity. Here's his secret identity right
His
here.
identity, where he works.
It's
his
right
face.
here. I don't know what
His-
I'm going to put here, but this is his true identity.
His home address is right under
It's
it.
just
It's gonna
gonna
be a Star Wars size
Right,
scroll. Okay,
it's gonna be like a
It's just-
scrolling thing, like credits at the end of the movie.
I just put a
my
picture
name,
of.
social security number, address.
Yeah. This is the
I do know
people
your
who
social
work
security
with him as
number, by the way.
well, So you fucking bring them into it.
No, but seriously, if the answer is misinterpreted for some reason, and it
What's
could
the guy's
be
name?
or should
Seagal?
be a
What's his
yes
name?
or a no.
Seagal. What's his first name?
Steven
I just put a
Seagal?
Seagal?
picture of Steven Seagal up.
Wow.
Oh, well, what about the like a misinterpretation of the answer? What if, or let's flip it. What if she is saying yes to something, but didn't really mean to say yes about the proposal?
Once again, I think you're talking about television. I don't think what you're talking about has ever happened once.
Please marry me.
But-
yes to the corn. No,
No,
not yet. No, hold on,
but,
no, no,
but
no.
it's got to come from somewhere. TV is just a reflection of real life.
So
I
real
do
quick,
agree with
I
that.
kind of that's so. It's been a common theme that people have complained about stuff around. It's either my family or like friends, where it's like they complain about some social issue in a way that's like disingenuous to me, and in a way to point it out to them, I say that is the plot line of so many TV shows. It's such a basic issue, and not issue. But I don't even know because I can't remember the last example. But it's like so. Yes, in a way, like when something happens enough, so it happens something happens so much in society that it becomes a joke in a TV show. Yes, but what you're talking about, the way I'm degrading it, degrading it. Cut that out. Is because it's negative. Like saying that would only happen in a TV show. Being only is the distinct word there. I don't think that happens ever in real life.
Well, I mean, the whole thing about TV shows is that it's also based on ideas. It's not really ever meant to be based on a sense of truth. But that's also where we get our moments from. That's where we kind of come to.
well, I
the
think
two.
it's derived from truth. I think TV
Yeah,
is derived from reality.
It is. But you have to remember, reality itself is also very, very layered. Not because of people. It's not because like it's so different. It's because it's unique to each and one of us. These stories that we do see on shows could happen to people, but they could also be a reflection of what people want in their life. And that whole moment of like, I wish my fiance proposed to me at the restaurant that we both went to and that we both love, and that's where we essentially comes in. Or the other trope, I am marrying my best friend. We've been knowing each other since we were kids, and we essentially grew up with one another. And so to get married in like the pizza place that we always went to, or the sandwich shop.
Your face is blurred, by the way,
Sandwich.
so you don't have to do the.
shop
I'm
that's always
serious. I'm
been
blurring
to.
your face the whole time
Why?
because you made me upset.
I did not make you upset.
You talked about vaginal blood too much.
That is
Okay,
so.
well, stop
No,
bringing
'cause
it up.
when you go
If
back
you're
and
gonna
watch
bring
it,
it
you're
up.
gonna laugh because it's meant to be comical.
You could.
It's
I'm
such a
saying you could put,
raunchy
just like I
comedy bit
constantly-
you
you
can
had
put
to
the
come in.
shawl down.
Just like I constantly say to you, I'm a producer now. I have an eye for these kinds of
All right.
things.
Well, now
I'm a
they know who
producer
you
now.
are.
No, I'm just a producer. I
think
can produce
they
chickens.
already get the gist of it.
That line
Chickens.
is so pervasive.
What?
No,
I
so I
can-
didn't even tell you this. I want to bring this up because we do have to end it very quick soon. YouTube. At the beginning of this, I said where we only edit the first 5 minutes of the podcast. YouTube for closed captions, they now have like this AI that immediately goes through and scripts your video in the side section. And in that, like the first 5 minutes of YouTube, you're not supposed to swear. It's some number, but everyone says 5 minutes. So our name is not allowed to be in the first 5 minutes. So every time we do an intro, it's going to be, welcome to the SYWB podcast. See you where to boop
Oh,
podcast.
Well, that's also why I was like, I don't think we need an introduction on that since they already know what they're going into.
Because, I just like the introduction. Because in the little description at the bottom with the text, it bleeps it out. So I was like, oh, great. I have to. So it's just very funny to me that the first
So-
5 minutes.
In other words, we're not going to make any money of this if this actually kicks off in any way.
No, if I bleep it, we will. We
Uh,
could. It just got. That's what I'm saying. Like I did it
Yeah.
last night. I was up till 2 a.m. editing for tomorrow.
Yeah.
For the release tomorrow.
So, for my next question, for the Valentine's thing.
Oh God, there's
Since
more.
you work, well, yeah, that's kind of the whole big point of what this podcast was supposed to be about.
That's what I said. It's
Asking
just
the guy.
It's just relaxing, man. We're just if we get to him, we get to
My
him,
next question is,
man.
how many people did you that worked with you walked out on that day?
Oh, that's happened before, but none this
Oh,
year.
that's
But
such a good
that's happened
question.
None this
before.
year. You got lucky. We had 3 walkouts.
That's a great
3?
question.
We had 3 people who almost quit, but I don't know if they ever got fired. Well, they didn't get fired, but
Wait,
we had 3 walkouts.
I only know of one. Who else walked out? Just say the name. I'll bleep it.
Mm-hmm. And
Who else walked out?
2, the dishwasher and the other cook. But the
Dishwasher
prepper
was let go. He was let out.
But-
He didn't walk out, did he?
he was forced to quit.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. And who else?
Well, it wasn't in the terms of like I'm leaving, I'm quitting. Isn't that mentality? It was that you had not told me the time that we were going to be here.
We left at 3 a.m.
and
by the way.
so
Most everyone left at 3
Well, yeah.
a.m.
Well, that was the next question. But yeah, for Valentine's, no one was given actual proper information on what time we were going to be opening / closing, and because of that, no one had
you know
any
why.
plans. Well, yeah, of course. Obviously, he's going to tell us more into why the fuck they
'Cause
did
I was
that.
told 10 p.m.
And we were told day of 11 p.m. I don't
Right.
know what time
Same
you
with
guys were
us.
closed.
Same
Yeah.
with us. I found out the same. I found out the day of opening early and staying open later.
I never heard once that we were closing at 11.
I only was told last week before the
Oh,
week
this
before
is
it
good.
happened.
So let me put this
but-
in. There's these tickets here. All these tickets that you see in this picture. This was all at 12:48 a.m. We had a bunch of tickets at 1 a.m.
Mhm.
Still not done yet, and everyone got their food. Everyone did.
Which
Yeah, they
is
got
so
whatever they
weird to
could.
me that people eat meals of any significance at midnight or 1 in the morning. Like, that is bizarre to me.
Well, yeah,
That's
but it's
how
just a
people are.
special situation because they were already out. Nowhere's open at 1 a.m. on Valentine's Day, so they just were,
Yeah. Well, I mean, also we're talking about a 3-hour wait line that they actually waited for 3 hours just to fulfill, which
That's
was always
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
But to
it was
me,
always the
like,
crazy
that's-
part.
And this is why I've always been confused about our restaurant because we don't have a waiting list. People come in, they sit down. That to me whenever I grew up going to a lot of restaurants as a kid. My dad likes restaurants, so whenever we went, it was whenever we went on a Sunday after church, it was 30-minute wait. That was baseline,
Yeah.
very normal, and that's not even it's in a small town. So to have an hour's wait for a fancy restaurant, like whenever we went to a fancy restaurant, sometimes in the city, it was an hour wait. We waited 45 minutes to an hour. That was baseline on just a weekday or a weekend. So to have 3 hours on Valentine's Day for this Valentine's-esque restaurant is so normal to me. And I feel like I don't know if that's changed because I don't go out to restaurants anymore that much.
I
So I don't know if
mean-
that culture has changed because when I was a kid, that's extremely normal.
Well, I still don't even. Well, I mean, they waited, so clearly there is still some reverberations of it. But I think the biggest issue with it was the sheer fact that none of the higher ups ever wanted to plan anything like this, like open menu on Valentine's, and to
Well,
only have one special to go along with it doesn't make any sense to me at all. Especially when you understood that you can't relay quickness with Valentine's at all. Like, yeah, sure, it's a place where you can make a lot of money and it's about getting everything ready and getting it all go and giving to your significant other. But in the restaurant business, that's not how that works. You're gonna have that couple that's gonna sit there and be like, well, let's talk about the past 10 years of our love here at this place. And we're just like, sir, you're gonna hold up about 16 reservations because you're fucking two-top. You need to get your ass out of here. And so we can fix it up, replace it, and get the other guest in here.
All right, well, let's not be rude.
well, that's my next
But that's
question.
the issue. We can't be rude in any of that demeanor.
That's my next question. On Valentine's Day, I was just about to say a phrase that would expose exactly who I am, so I can't say that. So on
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, it's all two tops. You know?
Yes.
So did you guys rent tables?
Yeah. We
Yes.
had about 7 tables that we
You
rented.
rented them,
7.
7?
and
It was like a
you
stack
you
table.
re
I might have that, actually.
reconformed the current ones that you have. Like I'm
Yes.
sure they have flaps that you can bust out into 8s if you need, or
They were
down
all
to
two
4s.
tops. They were
So
all 2 tops.
okay, so that was my next question. Was all your reservations two tops, or were there any?
It was like a
4s?
couple 5 tops.
Majorities,
Actually.
yes.
A couple of 5s.
That was
wow.
90s, yeah, 90s.
That
Wow.
was weird. A weird day to shoot. And they got in early. So they didn't have any issues.
Right.
Yeah, they came before the storm, which was a really good thing.
It looked like business. There was actually there was a business meeting. Like it was a 4 because they had a credit from like October or something.
Yeah,
I should bleep
would,
that.
yeah, bleep that out.
Yeah,
But yeah,
course.
they were just trying to turn it in, and clearly they were just there to eat. But again, they picked the wrong day to go in to do this
right,
for.
right.
But again, it would make sense if you are in a relationship
Well,
and you
and-
get told you have a fancy restaurant. That's pretty much a free meal.
And that's another thing too. What if you're a non-Valentiner and you want to go eat, and every place is just jam packed? I mean,
I know. We met them.
then you're
Yeah,
really
we had
screwed.
we had
I've
walk-ins,
met
didn't we?
them. Of course, we had
Yeah,
walk-ins, but
we let them in.
No, they didn't let them in. They told them the time, and for some reason, as a walk-in, they just sat there and waited.
Because nowhere
Oh.
else to be
And I was
open.
like, no offense, but why wait? Like you have a better chance going out and finding other places.
They
or
could have gone to
spreading
the
out.
store and bought everything, made
yeah,
it
but
themselves.
that's come
Yeah.
on.
and
Well,
Of
I mean,
course,
let's be
everyone
honest.
could have
You
done
think they can
that.
actually make it correct?
Everyone
Right,
could have
well,
done that.
not
Yeah, not-
necessarily.
That's
yeah,
true
not
for every
necessarily.
holiday, though.
Well, not necessarily, because on Valentine's Day, if you don't think about it and you're just going out for a simple dinner or what you think is
Yeah.
a simple dinner, and all of a sudden you remember, oh shit, it's Valentine's Day, and that place is packed.
That's your fault.
Packed to the brim.
That's your fault for not realizing the day. Like that's when you walk
Mhm.
around and don't wait. And the only people who waited 2 hours were the couples. I'm sure a single person coming in didn't. Oh, it's Valentine's Day, and then they walk out.
A single person,
No.
I would walk out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Should walk out.
Should
A single
doesn't mean they
person,
will.
a single person shouldn't even have a reservation.
Oh, they did.
I'm saying like a walk-in.
No, but they did. Most of them have reservations.
All right. Well, you guys want to do 2 episodes or?
Oh, do we really eat up all that time? I guess
Yeah.
we did.
I'm down for another one, but I'm more.
No, we don't have the time.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Okay, my feelings are more hurt though that you're going to blur me out.
Just for the last bit.
Aw.
I mean, really.
Don't worry,
hurt.
we'll come up with a.
Oh, because I
With a
didn't.
better
Okay, so we talked
disguise.
about this.
Oh, we got to talk about the squirrel. The
Okay, we got
acorn.
a lightning round. I'll do the first thing first. So, because I was talking
I
about this
know,
before the podcast.
How much time do we have left?
-5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, you can edit out all of your itching shit, so that will take.
You did it again.
That gives another.
Great. And now she set a timer for 5 minutes. God damn. It's gonna go off in 5 minutes. Anyway, so Fonzie. We talked about this before the podcast.
Oh my
I am
gosh.
Fonzie.
You guys
I've
really
done it.
waited this
you're
long?
not.
I've done it twice. I don't remember the first one, but I will come to me and I'll tell you about it. Second thing that happened, it was at the restaurant. It was really funny. It was a panicky moment. It was me and a waiter, and the waiter he wanted to fill up soda water, and for us it's soda water and Sprite and the same thing. So, but he wasn't clicking the soda water button, and I wondered why. So I just I was sitting there and I walked up. I just like, oh, and I hit the soda water button to help him out because he turned around, and it got stuck, and it just kept going.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was sticky. So he turned around and he heard me. He was like, "Man, there was a reason I wasn't doing that." And I was just sitting like this. I was like, because it was about to overflow. I was like, boom, and it stopped. And I went, "Hey!" And he didn't get it. I looked at him and went like this. I was like, "Hey!" And he didn't get it. Oh, but it was. I was like panicking. Boom, like the button. And it
That's
stopped.
great.
It
That's
was
great.
great.
That's great.
I am the Fonz. I
Not
swear to God,
really.
it happened in a bar somewhere else, and it may have been a jukebox, but it wasn't because those don't exist anymore. But something like that happened else where I've done it twice, and I did this, and no one got it.
Yeah, because it's such an old thing. No one knows.
Well,
Actually, can I say something? How popular is that show?
Very.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I understand that person existed, but not
Henry Winkler.
one person ever mentioned anything that's related to the show at all.
I think it's cultural though.
It's only
It's-
cultural by the person though. But
Well-
I don't believe it because any person ever asked about like that show, not one person ever could tell me like, oh, it was a good, decent show. I think.
Well, no.
Well-
Have you ever heard the phrase "jumping the shark"
No,
in terms of shows?
I
no.
was going to bring
well,
that
you're
up
a-
too.
That's just
Okay.
you.
Well, okay. When you jump the shark, you've sort of like overstayed your welcome. And
No.
or you
Jumping the
beat a
shark is
horse
the-
to death. Right, you jump the shark.
It's the moment where a
gonna
show
go,
became
"Woo!"
too much.
Right.
Because in Happy Days, Fonzie was on a ski thing, and he jumped over a shark, and it was a really shitty edit because it's from the 70s, and so he's like, on a green screen or whatever rear projection thing, and he goes, ah, and jumps over a shark that they filmed somewhere else on a different camera because it looks totally different.
Right.
Okay.
And then,
Oh, I'll put the clip in here. And
by the way,
so it's called jumping the shark from that. And
and
so
the
it just
shark-
culturally, it's really significant.
the shark was fenced in shortly very close to the beach too. So it's not like the shark was just roaming the ocean waters and he was out in the middle of the ocean. They were on a pier watching him jump the shark that was contained by like essentially a white picket fence all the way around the shark, like he was in a pen. So he could have done anything, but it wasn't very long. It wasn't a very big jump either. It was just like water skiing, and you go up a ramp and you go over something and you come back down.
But you never saw him and the shark in the same shot
Right, right. You did not.
because edited that
You
way.
just see the shark, lurking underneath to
Yeah.
give you the illusion that he's actually really doing this
Yeah.
when couldn't have been further from the truth.
Anyway, next story. This one, luckily, the only reason I could talk about it in such a light note is because no one was hurt. Spoiler. A
In
cop-
the Fonzie thing?
No. Next story. A cop put a guy that he like lightly patted down, lightly. Okay, all right, hold on. Full story. Maybe like someone our age, maybe it was a couple. There was a domestic dispute, which is, if you don't know, in policing, domestic disputes are the most dangerous, the most deadly encounters are domestic disputes for both police and people. It's the most deadly dispute is domestic dispute. So, for calls, they were called. He took his girlfriend's car and he was allowed to have it. He was allowed to use it, but he didn't return it in time, so she called the police. I don't think he got it put in the back of the car, so I don't know all the details, but I think she wanted him charged for taking her car because he didn't return it. He didn't steal the car. He didn't steal someone's car. He borrowed it without returning it. Very different. It's a younger black man. So, and there's a big white 5 minutes, and it's two white cops, so that doesn't help. He ends up coming because he's innocent. He's just trying to do whatever he needs to do. They put him in. I don't know if he's arrested or just detained, but they put him in cuffs. They just go like this and then put him in the back of the seat. In one of the photos that they were showing, like he was sending her photos of her car. In one of the photos, he had what appeared to be, it wasn't even confirmed, what appeared to be a suppressed weapon in one of the photos. When they got him there, they should have actually checked him for weapons, but they didn't. They just and then put him in the car. So as the cop was walking around, he was already in the car. Cop was walking around. Cop heard a noise. I won't reveal what the noise was yet. Immediately reacted. Took a couple steps. Did some combat rolls while yelling, "Shots fired! Shots fired!" Literally combat rolling. I'll put the video here. Fell to the ground. Said, "I'm hit."
Get the fuck out of
Started
here.
doing this. Unholstered his weapon on the ground and started firing one-handed into his police car. I don't know if that's the exact order. I think he was firing and then he fell down into the back of his police car, shattering the window and shooting at the kid in his car. He's probably like 20-something. Kid. As his partner hears the word "shots fired, I'm hit," she comes out and starts shooting into the car. She says, where? Because she didn't hear anything. And he's like, "He's in the back." And she just starts firing into the car off of that information alone. And he runs out of bullets. And it sounds just like this, actually. He's crawling away. I don't know if you can even hear me. Crawling away, saying, "I'm hit, I'm hit." What happened was an acorn hit the windshield. He thought it was a suppressed weapon firing from inside the car, which he failed to check the guy of. And then he took a couple steps. Because he thought he was getting shot at, his adrenaline kicked in, and they claimed that he fell over because he lost feeling in his legs from the adrenaline. So he thought he was shot in the legs because when you are shot, your adrenaline kicks in and you lose feeling usually in that limb because
Right.
adrenaline makes you not feel it. It really doesn't hurt until you get shot till hours later, a couple or minutes later at least, because your body knows how to stop the pain. It doesn't stop the effects. Like if you're shot in the kneecap, you try to walk, you're gonna fall over, but you might not feel it right then. That's his claimed theory of how he thought he was hit and shot in the leg because he fell over because his legs went numb due to the adrenaline. No one was shot. No one was hit. The worst the guy got, I think the guy got like probably glass around him.
How did he not get hit?
They're shitty shots. So first of all, cop car was here, she was here, and he was right here. So she was firing at the cop as well, at the guy who was yelling, "Shots fired." I have a video of I recorded a video of a bullet going in dirt alone, just soft dirt, and then going that way, complete direction of angle. And she was shooting into a car with metal bits that could have easily hit him, or just because it's crossfire, they could have just shot each other, or she could have shot him, but no one was hit. It was a neighborhood too. It wasn't somewhere. So she was shooting in a neighborhood at a car with a handcuffed person in the back
Wow.
seat. I heard he was fired, but he wasn't. He resigned. He wasn't even fired. And there was no criminal charges put against him. Zero.
What about her?
Neither. She should have at least had negligence for not even being aware of the situation, just hearing.
Well, and him
'Cause
too. I mean,
No,
like,
him absolutely, but her just
the perp should be filing a civil lawsuit.
civil is absolutely going to happen, but there should be criminal. Watch the mic, don't you? There should be criminal. If-
Yeah,
if-
absolutely.
If it was you and me, there was a dude in the backseat of my car. I thought he shot at me, and he didn't, and I started shooting at him. Criminal.
Right. No. I agree, but
I
I
should put a
think
badge on
that's
here. That way I can do anything I want.
that should have been done a long time
This
ago.
happened in last November, and the footage just came out.
But that should have happened within days of this.
Nope, just resigned. No criminal hearing. None.
He can still be charged civilly, correct?
Correct. He will, I'm sure, 100%. I hope. Very least.
Yeah, that's
But
ridiculous.
the police.
Where was this?
Shock, Florida. Shock. The police found no fault in the police. In the investigation of the police, they found no fault.
Get a jury in there and see what happens.
Ending on a
Wow.
happy note. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, damn it. I got so much lower in this podcast. All right. I was Dylan.
And I, Jason.
You're so low energy.
And
I'm
Deep dish.
I almost said deep throat. I don't know why you're covering your face. You've been blurred for like 20 minutes.
I'm deep dish.
it's
Okay.
fine.
I'm deep pasta. He's been Jason, aka Deep Throat.
What?
Bye. I
gotta take
almost
care
said your
now.
name again.
Have a wonderful night.
A Deep Throat. Sorry, Deep Dish. Look at this fade out. Physical.
Nice. Oh, we're back.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Set a precedent here. We're not done yet. Thanks for coming on the podcast. What did you do? Did you do anything this podcast?
I
Gave us
contributed.
You
information.
contributed.
Yep.
I give
He
you
claims
some
to have-
insider
damn it.
information. I
He
brought up
claims to
some
have
good
contributed.
points.
Mhm.
I claim otherwise.
I brought up some good points. Asked
He
some
was
Hopefully
a
we'll actually have
terrible
a.
advertiser. That's for damn
You guys
sure.
are muted. Hopefully we're gonna have a good podcast next time.
But the question is, will Deep Dish be involved?
No.
Oh, Deep Dish is done? I'm done?
No, you're not done. You're not done. I have ideas. I wrote one down that I can't say on the podcast.
Okay.
Bye.